Now we can take questions, and there's a microphone there. Please be brief in your questions, and don't make long comments, because we'd like to give other people a chance to ask questions.
9/11 happened a long time ago. Why in the last 4 years or so we have now this movement? For example, in France, there's only 3,000 women who are wearing veil. They said no. And one in Switzerland, they said no minaret after this kind of voting. Why do you think this? And then, of course, we have the cartoon about the Prophet. We have in Finland the film about the Prophet and all these things. Why these flourish in these last 4 years after so long of 9/11 happened? Even this didn't happen in US, who was, say, the victim of 9/11.
Thank you. It's not just the last 4 years, you know. I have been watching this coming for some time. You go back to the Salman Rushdie affair, was one of those landmarks. I go to visit Holland a great deal. My books sell well there, and I go there usually every year. And I've been watching this spirit, this anti-Islamic, this anti-Muslim feeling coming for some time now. And they've got that awful man Wilders there now and the Dutch are bewildered. They are by their own illiberality here, because their ethos, their tradition has been very liberal and free. And it's in Scandinavia, too. That Norwegian man was, at his trial, was full of vitriol against Muslims and was quoting people like Daniel Pipes and Bernard Lewis and others who are not friends to Islam. Now, I think it is a very deep-rooted thing in Europe. We in Europe, and I say this with shame, we are a persecuting people. We became persecutors in the 12th century. We started persecuting Jews. We saw what happened in the concentration camps in the 1930s. That could not have happened if there had not been centuries of anti-Jewish feeling, an inability to live side by side with people of other religions. That is something there is a fascist streak within, I'm sorry, the European soul. And so it is very worrying indeed to see this coming out, just fastened to someone else. When I was in Washington at the Brookings, when we were together there that day, Imam, one of the ladies from the State Department, a Jewish woman, was going around the world. She said she'd been given a mandate by the State Department to find out how things were with Jews, how Jews were being treated around the world. She said it's not great. She said, but what she's really worried about, said this Jewish lady, was the way people are behaving to Muslims. It's the same prejudice coming out with just a different name to it. The rhythms of it are the same. I always say to my people, this is a disease we have. We're like alcoholics who cannot take another sip of this noxious mixture. There is a real fear of the outsider, and it's something that we have to be very careful of.